Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? How are you for a Thursday? Let's get right into it. What's going on? You know what? I'm in a rather generous mood today. So here's what's going to happen. Okay. I want to give out a couple gold memberships, but you can't haven't won before. So we'll give to the few people that I saw. Let's get Dan King. I'm just going to pick some people out. Dan, contact Miss Stephanie. We're going to give you a 30-day to the gold membership. I want to kind of crank it up. Miss Victoria, you're going to get 90 days. So I want you to get in on the action too. Would love to have you involved with what we do. And then let's do how about APV? You're always good. Okay, and Neil, yes, let's go. Let's freaking go. How are you guys doing? So those people that came in early, you catch all of that. Victoria, I definitely want you to take advantage of that as well. Appreciate you showing up every day. Everyone else, great to see you. Welcome. I'll give away one or two more gold memberships. I want to get that going. You know, I just bought some puts earlier this morning, and it's just not doing anything. Here, let me show you guys really quick on the cues. For the today, you know, just looking for a little pullback today, but just for something for everyone to think about. Right here, the QQQ 362.50. It was a sweet scalp that's done nothing. So I closed it out before coming in today. I really, I think we got to look at the market. It's fairly impressive off of those lows. We'll get into that. But of course, let's start with the one, the only Bitcoin. What do you think, right? Almost got to the 38, 37, 38 target I've been talking about for a while. I think this thing is just beautiful. And it's a process too, so don't forget that. It's easy to get caught up in the hype when things are all firing. But listen, 38,761, that's probably for depending on your, of course, the data feed, but that's going to be it. That's going to be our target. That's going to be what we're looking for. I know a lot of people are now coming out of the woodwork saying, yep. That's a minimum. And why I say the 38,761 is a minimum, because mechanically that's a 382 off of the pattern, and then we'll see how it hits it. Does it crash through the wall and then make a run to target 2 at 50,000, 5309? Could happen. Could happen. It's been a volatile couple of weeks, but getting interesting. Doesn't change the fact that we got this. Just doesn't change this whole progress and the progression of the all-time history here. And we'll have pullbacks. I'll get into some of the other patterns that I like. But you're gonna ride that train, folks, and you'll ride that train to all-time new highs. But that will take a while. You don't even think moon phase yet or anything. It's like it's a second thrust, beginning of a second thrust, and I know I like to take it within the context of absolute measured minimums to be as conservative as possible. And it could be something like this. You get an ABCD formation, X, ABCD, something like that. Back up to the 886. So you got a few things there. It's pointing to the 45-ish, high 40s in a good strong run, but let's go to 38 and see how it goes. Today, I'm going to be a little looser. I'm going to rip through a couple markets. I'm doing an AMA today. I'm kind of Robitussin has taken over my brain. So my brain's not operating on full capacity at the moment. So it's going to be more a looser. I'm going to take your questions, and I'll give a couple opportunities for you folks to win some stuff. Some Harmonic Trader books, memberships, get in on the action. Oh, all right, let's do the business. Listen, I know everyone loves Black Friday and everything, and we do some discounts. Uh, again, Black Friday, think about it. Already they're talking about Christmas starts now. Now Christmas starts the day after Halloween. Love it. And then of course, well, where's Black Friday? We'll do something next week. I'm gonna jump in front of everybody. We will run a month-long Black Friday. I'll start that next month, and what it'll be is, listen, we do you get with the software. First of all, that's what I'm trying to say. Get with the software and do that by becoming a basic member. Register now, and then go to the basic members page. But start with the trial. A bunch of people, and I think it's because of the resurgence of crypto, and now people want to get back into it. They've asked me, okay, can I get a discount or whatever? My only answer is not until you take the trial. So everyone should grab a TradingView trial and send your full username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. And if you want to trial to any of these other platforms, MetaTrader, eSignal, Ninja, Sierra, or even the Thinkorswim platform, I don't talk enough about that, mainly because those guys have been in a merger talk with Schwab for about 4 years. But we've got free trials to all that. So catch that, and then if you have questions, get on the Discord. Everybody else, if you got some questions for me, pop them into the chat. I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to go through a couple markets, and let's see. Maybe this short is going to work out on the Qs. Whatever. Today it's just, I don't expect much. We got Apple tomorrow, people, and that's another interesting thing to look at. But let's just do the quick polish on Bitcoin weekly chart. What happened with the big surge is, in terms of what we do, and what I think what we do is fairly special and certainly unique. You're not going to find this content, well, with the exception of Mitch Ray. Big shout out to my buddy Mitch. Go check him out, Mitch Ray TA. But we do harmonic patterns here, exclusively harmonic patterns. And we want to think about crypto within the context of harmonic patterns and those harmonic measurements. And what we have is that yellow dot that, as we talked about on Tuesday, triggered. Okay. It's a big signal, but it's an early signal. So be patient. You didn't miss anything. You want to catch the BTC train? Plenty of time. If you're going to 38, 40, 48,000, 105,000, doesn't matter. The trend is up. Let's get a little pullback here in the next couple of weeks, and we continue to ride. But the yellow dot here is related to our harmonic strength index right there. And it's a real nice, strong continuation signal that, in terms of the bar itself, that range, that establishes your support going forward. We should be on a bar over bar climb going forward as well. You have to go back quite a ways to really, until what was the last accelerated dot was something like back in 19. And I mentioned this before. We've had a few of these yellow dots in the weekly history. And usually you get that thrust, you get a pullback, and then you really go. I think that's what's going on here. Anyway, great to see everybody today. How are you on a Thursday? Absolutely, Justin. How are you, Justin? Arun? Boro? Evan? Drip Dried? Tie-dye. You ever go to a show? How many shows you go to? And what's up, Thinking Cap? When are we doing a Miami meetup with Mitch? You're a local. I'd love to. I just have to get better, folks. Shoulder. Now, like this respiratory thing, it's apparently going around. My son and all the little rugrats exchanging viruses. so frequently. But yeah, you know what? I would have to say it would have to be. It's probably not going to happen this year, but maybe next year. Maybe when BTC's at all-time new highs, Mitch and I will do something. I haven't even had the opportunity to see him too much this year, really. Boro, sure. We'll look at Coca-Cola. It's right. Listen, a stock like Coke is exactly why you folks want to do harmonic patterns. Nothing's going to show you those levels like the chart on Coke. So we'll get it. Yeah, Chuck. Love to share a bottle of Robitussin. Yeah, pass it around. It's kind of like a flavored coffee, my friend. The Robitussin with the coffee just gives it kind of that unique bite. Anyway, I'm really trying to make light of my situation, but let's get to the BTC and other things. Let's go to the listen. When you're this far advanced, you got to break it down first on hourly, okay, or even 4 hour, but hourly, and just look for your inflections. Oh, what do we have here? We have a shark pattern. It's the shark, and it's type 2 shark. How do we know? Because the software labels it for you and tells you exactly where to be looking. So this is a great example. Incredibly, Coinbase feed, that's always good, but still following harmonic pattern framework. T1 to T1 dollar sign back up to the hop and gives you the T2. That's where the big reversal patterns happen. And in this case, when we get T2, we look for target 2. If you're T1, we go to target 1, and we even put that additional measure there. So check all of that out. That suggests that 33,605 is probably what we need to digest for the next 24 hours or so. And that's coming pretty fast. Not bad, not bad, but it always stair steps. You would never want this thing to pop straight in the air. You want this stuff to stair step. You want it to advance, retrench, consolidate, go again. That's healthy buying behavior. So let's just pace ourselves. Let's not get too crazy. Sure, there are some things we need to look at. Let's do our quick top 5. And amazingly, last time I talked about Solana, and I never talk about Solana as bringing into the top 5. Look what happened. I mean, really, we're 35. Remember we talked about it last week? We're like, yeah, maybe we can go to like 30. Or we could connect some dots up to, what was it, like 33 or something. That stuff went to 46. And you're going to get a really interesting picture when we go out and look at stuff like daily. Amazing. Deep crab there that's just overshot. Weekly is probably the proper way to be looking at this thing. Yes, we have a pattern here. Yes, it overshot. That's crypto. What you're seeing is this thing getting rejected. What is really the XA leg of a bat at 47.54, and I mean it's just spot on. If you want to really know where acceleration begins, and I mean begins, it hasn't begun on Solana. It's above 47.54. Go to 120. So let's see what goes on there. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a shot across the bow, if you will, and I think it's at least constructive. Number 3 is yes, XRP. Oh yeah, that was up at 60 something, 62 this morning, just pulling off a little bit. I don't have a problem. In fact, consider this a gift, folks. Consider that, let that come down, let that have a retracement, and let it continue to stair step there. You get to 58. Just we'll keep coming back, and then Where's the hour? Hourly's here. There you go. So nothing changes on XRP. Nothing changes for BTC. I just think that you've moved a hell of a ways in a short period of time. And it's still going to be our target for XRP here is still 132. And I went into that in detail last time. Hey, William, he's asking, how do I plan on continuing to layer into XRP? That's a great question. And I talked about this with my premium group about what my strategy was. It was a week or two ago of really, I was almost at my levels that I wanted to get, the kind of exposure that I wanted to get. And I said to my people, if you want to, you can do it by knocking off a zero off the end. Because it doesn't matter. Listen, if you're going to play this cycle and the cycle is going to be multiple X of where you are now, I don't think you have to be overexposed. So one of the thoughts that I have here, I actually almost have the size that I want. And I was able to get into that, around 50, 52, 53. I had a little more around 55. Is simply to wait for the pullbacks or say hourly or 4-hour HSI, which we haven't had any since the beginning of October. And I will look for this thing to just get oversold as it climbs the mountain here. And that would be with this indicator. That's Harmonic Strength Index. Think of it as a harmonic relative strength, folks. And it definitely has a knack to go from extreme to extreme. So, I think it's leaving the station. I think XRP will get to a point where it'll get back up to those 80, 90 cent range, and then it'll probably take some time before it really cracks a buck. But you want to be strategizing here. I think under 60 to 55 cents, consider it a gift. Because the allocation's coming. You guys know I've been saying this, that this is an allocation cycle. So, great to see everybody. Hey, there he is. What's up? Mitch Ray is in the house. Just speaking your name a few moments ago, man. Thanks for showing up today. Great to have you. Yeah, Evan puts out a good note on well, maybe that's more for a longer term accumulation, longer term management strategy. Listen, you're here in the pennies range, half a dollar, 75 cents. Doesn't matter. Okay, because you're playing for XRP to do, come on back, not only to target 2, but you want it to eventually break to new all-time highs, at least above this pattern looking left. And that's I've thought about doing a little Twitter thread, maybe when I'm better, of a looking left series, meaning stacking a bunch of crypto patterns that I want to be in and say, hey, we've got these patterns on the left side of the chart here. And as we, make our way over the next year or so, I want to have patterns like that looking to my left side here that serve as the launching pad. And I still say, look, target 2, structural minimum 132.50. Okay. But the thought here on XRP, and a lot of these, is that you make a bust all-time new highs by doing an all-time 1618. Just look at your crypto. Look at what happened last time, last couple of cycles. Just do it with your top market cap stuff, but that's 3 and change. And who was that? It was Justin. Justin said, yeah, go to $5 or $30. I don't know about maybe 5. I don't know about 30, but hey, look, I've been proven wrong years past on crypto that yes, that's a possibility. I think likely scenario, yeah, is that $253 range for a kind of a moonshot target and I would probably look to get my initial investment back and then just ride the rest to whatever longer term. Try to make it a hodl position as long as you have that continuation long trend. I mean, think about it. I think about Bitcoin as well as a trader when it went from a couple $1,000, $3,000, $4,000 to 60, and then came all the way back to 15,000. I know these guys like Max Kaiser and Saylor and whatever. Well, maybe Max Kaiser probably because he was earlier. Um, Listen, this is the chart. This is the model for your looking left series for crypto, that you have patterns looking left. So once you get off the launch pad and you start making progress, and we have, in this case, you had two patterns looking left, that you blast off. But at the same time, if you make that run, that was incredibly 10, 12x off the low. At what point are you going to take some profits? I think partial profits, always a great strategy, no matter what, at your levels. If you're targeting like a 1618, which is this is the idea. This is the idea. It's an accumulation cycle that's going to get overextended, and it's minimum 1618 to a 314. I don't mean to oversimplify it beyond that, but that's how this stuff works. You get to the 314, and then you would have like a 382 pullback. And I don't care what crypto you're in, type 1, type 2. But that's the thought generally. That's how waves move. So even if it does skyrocket, XRP that is, I will be taking partial profits, and then you leave a piece to run for eternity. But we're up for a very interesting 12 months to come, folks. Probably one of the most interesting 12 months I've seen in a while. I keep coming back to feeling it's got this 2007 feeling. I hate to say that. It really, really does. So despite today we're up, that's great. We'll get into that in a second. But listen, as a trader, as a market participant, never over allocate. Partial profits along the way, define stops, all of that mantra is critical. If you find yourself stuck, and I'll speak to that for 1 second, because I have talked to a few people who feel stuck or feel a little overwhelmed. They're not really in the spot where they need to be to really hit it. Just step back. Step back. Take a week, take a month, take 6 months, whatever you need. Take that time until you're in the right frame of reference to get in there. Otherwise, you're going to make avoidable mistakes. And I can speak for myself. This year has been one of those times where I've had to just step out for a couple weeks at a time, whatever it may be, just not trade or trade lightly. So, keep that in mind. We're all here doing it in front of our screen, and it's great to interact and communicate with folks, but we still have to make our own decisions, and we still have to keep our head on square. And it's easy to lose your brain, especially with something like this happening. Oh man, Bitcoin, I've missed it. What do I do now? Do I just hit the market buy at 35.6? No, we'll get plenty of opportunities. And even like 5-minute patterns, they come along and they give you those opportunities. I don't have any today, but look, excuse me, 1 second. 1 second. Thank you. I just noticed a couple beautiful shark patterns on the 5-minute chart just in the last couple of days. and really great structures, giving you points to get in on. So be mindful. It looks like a big bat pattern right now on the 5 minute. Maybe that'll generate shortly, but here's a great example. It's happening right now. Software is not kicking out, but just eyeing it. There you go. Bat 886, like there, bang! It just hit it on a dime. Just hit it on a dime like that. So, another example. Buy it on the pullback. Don't be chasing up here. Okay. Carthago says it's very challenging on your psyche. Don't underestimate the effects. He was feeling it last week when you fight this FOMO and then the fighting the managing of risk. Yep. So that's spot on, my man. And that's why we come together here, and we can all vent a little bit. We can all have some fun, make it more fun than it is alone. And hopefully we learn something and just have a better awareness all around. But that's a great example. Yeah, there's a good one. I would prefer to have the software kicking out some kind of setup, but let me see if it's on a 30-minute. Nothing yet. But that is a perfect bat. Oh, look at the 30 minutes got a couple of patterns there too. Bounce right off the 886. It's amazing. Let's go to Ethereum. Even though there's been really a lot of fireworks, Ethereum just kind of stuck at 1800. There's another little bat structure. Oh yeah, take a look at this though. Look at deep crab right off of the October little shakeout. And how do you know? So again, something about the software, because a lot of people say, oh, harmonic patterns are difficult. How do you know which point to grab? I say if you're going to manually draw, you only go with the clearest structures, but the software will literally label T1. Okay, that's the completion of the pattern. That's where the whole process starts. And then T1 $sign. I mean, that's your segment right there. And that should be it, even though you overshot it, and it's very common for crypto to go to target 2. But this is, let's see if we get this here the next couple of hours, and then rally back to 1853. Ethereum, still not in that spot where we have structure, where we have something looking left. That's it. You don't really have anything looking left, so that's kind of an impulsive move. And I'm not really crazy about Ethereum. I really like Solana more in terms of price action. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then a couple others, folks know that a while back I told you when I was going to get in on Cardano, and I started that position around 25 cents. We're at 30. We hit 32. And now we have to determine whether or not, is this it? Or is this a blast off? Because we could do a pause here and not necessarily go all the way back down, but you see the bat pattern getting generated, and that's a daily chart. I think that's pretty interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing at least have a little corrective pullback, 27.4 cents, and then take off. That would be an ideal scenario where then you blast on through. And I do like the fact that you have a bearish pattern here, because the reaction would come down, resolve the initial structure, and then if it's really strong, you'll bust above 31.2, 31.5 cents, and then go. So keep that in mind. The reason why Cardano is something that was on my radar and why 25 cents was because of the deep crab. Where'd you go, deep crab? Where was that? Do I have the right feed on? Oh, there it is. Yep. There's my, it was Binance feed I was looking at. And the boxes, those were from weeks ago. But we completed the deep crab. We went T1 from 25 to 38. Took a whole bunch of time, but eventually generated the T2 down here. And this is the confirmation that I got. No, this confirmation was back in September where it really started it. And now, okay, we're hitting a little HSI. I thought Cardano could have been something that could run to 36 or 40 now, but that's okay if it's going to take more time. And I do think, based off the crab, 46.5 cents is your eventual move within this short-term cycle. If we're looking at something where this is going to run into the end of the year, take it to that. Take it to that T2. Okay? One or two more. Some of the ones that I've mentioned that I think have done their move, but this next corrective pullback, you want to get on it. So Fetch AI was a deep crab at 18 cents. There you go. Now it's a bearish crab right off. It's kind of an impulsive move, hitting 36 cents and now pulling back. And I like these little crypto, and because the narrative is hot around it. You're going to get people to chase it. You're going to you see it on Twitter. You see people, your community or whatever. Regardless, it's dang harmonic, and I think this could do a little type 1 pullback, come back in here, and then your next wave after that pullback should be the one. Think of it this way too. If that bearish pattern just started 4 days ago, 5 days ago, then the correction probably takes you over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then set up to make a year-end run. Okay, that makes sense. The other one, that little AI stuff, that AI crypto. Some people were yelling at me because I posted this AGIX, and to show the pattern, and it was one I had posted back in June. Had this beautiful Gartley. Okay, big thrust off of the confirmation. XA was at 17.8. You just ran into a dot. That's just bearish confirmation for now. Let it come back in. We'll get another opportunity on that one, but it is in a ripe area. Even if you took off all your patterns or you were just doing standard technicals on this, it's a trend line breakout. Come back, I'm not going to say all the way there, but come back like this, and then little retest of that breakout, and then go. So prime example of a pattern still in development, larger development, with a ways to go. It just did the first thrust breakout. Couple more. You guys wanted H bar. H bar. Who wanted H bar? I think H bar had a pattern way back when. Was it a weekly time frame? There was something really big there. Now, that does seem like it's coiling, but I don't think that's nearly as constructive as some of these other charts. Fetch is a constructive chart. Obviously Solana. And here's that other one. I mentioned this a few weeks back, just from a standard technical perspective. Injective. And we were looking at this down here at that wedge point at 750, and it doubled. It doubled. It probably is not. I was drawing a W formation right off the top, but the connect the dots kind of thought here is better where your X is there, X to A, and then B point. Where's the B point? That's right at almost within the tolerance of a 618, really close. And then you get your A to B, and you get your C to D. And oh, look, right at the 886 off of that prior swing from September 21. That's around 1480. That could be it for now. What's up, Dystro? Welcome. We just did XRP. Scroll back about 5 minutes. You'll see that. And actually, the big workup on XRP was on Tuesday. And I got into that, why I thought that was actually a Gartley more than anything else. A few others, like big dogs. Big dogs. Well, it seems like some of these are trying to wake up. And oh, here's a few that I haven't mentioned in a while. So Avalanche. Okay. Put in a dot, trying to come off of that low. Where was it? Oh yeah, this is bigger pattern looking left. Okay, still early, extremely early, but we want to see these type of crypto put in a secondary low and make progress, almost like Solana did 2 months ago. Yeah, who said that? Justin, nice one. Thank you for triggering my Robitussin brain. Sandbox and Decentraland and Rune, all the Metaverse. I find them quite interesting. You have weekly charts, right? There you go. Look at this all time. And, not that every massive pattern is going to give you the home run, but it sure is in a nice spot because you have a yellow dot. That's our primary confirmation here, and that triggered last week. So you're down there 29, 30 cents. You're currently 35. Looking to make that make some kind of bottom. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying this is going straight to target one, although maybe eventually. But you come back and you retest the bottom range of these zones. You do have definitive patterns there, but early. We're so early. It's so early. Here's Decentraland. Similar. Where'd it go? Hold on. Decentraland it's a little bat at the low. Now you just did this quick back-to-back, small bat, alternate bat, little bearish bat, but generally I'd say 35 cents. You're at 39 at the moment, but you're trying to get these things to shake out the last 52 weeks of nothing burger action, and then start to make a thrust, start to make a move, larger development kind of a thing. One or two more. Yep, Matic was the other one. Did a nice thrust. Should have been more. But you got patterns there looking left. When I get oversold signals in the next week or two, of course, you guys, you know where I'm going to come with those. Evan says Kathy Wood is smoking today. ARK's up 7%. Yeah, well, let's get into those in the stocks in a second. Before I go, I do want to just kind of show what the total index did and what it's doing currently. So total vacillated right at $1 trillion, and I still say that 9.72 trillion on total index, that pretty much has to hold permanently. You never want to see that thing under 972 billion ever again for total index. But what's going on now is a shark. A couple of sharks, a type 2 shark. This shark, and then what transpired since this year, another shark at 1.25, hop level 1.3 trillion. Makes sense to see this thing at least pause. At least pause. So we could be into a pause here for a little bit. Okay, it was very exciting. Been an exciting few days for crypto. Felt like 2021 all over again. But just be aware of that. And crypto, like traditional markets, they go up to go down, and they go down to go up. It's a process. Let me show. Let's segue over to some stocks, some crypto stocks first, and then I'll get into the Qs and the SPY. Michael Strategy. Where'd he go? Where are you, Mr. Sailor? So Michael Strategy, that is MicroStrategy, is up here trying to put in a yellow dot, 433. There's a few different things going on here. What I see, at least in the short term, is you'd have to clear that high at 475 to really get out of the way. We do have kind of a connect the dot shark. The software is not kicking it out, but I did think that this was pretty interesting, that right at the 1618 off the last decline from August, you're pausing. It's a shark. It's not a shark on the software because it hasn't hit the 886. I mean, this very well could trickle up to as high as like that 460, 47, 460. There you go, something like that before pullback, retest. But on the longer scale, this is what you're looking at for good old Michael Strategy. Kind of like Bitcoin. You're kind of really just wanting this thing to continue to do its development, get to at least a 382, 600 with an eventual, I would say let's not jump the gun and go, oh, it's going to 886, of course. I think, somewhere in that 382 to 50 level. This is definitely, this whole action is a base. But I think we can get in a little pullback. 400 being maybe 375. Moving support, if you will. And that's probably going to be a way to play it on the stock. One other way to play it on the stock is the GBTC with the big Gartley. And we're almost got to target 1. Isn't that interesting? That would be in tandem with the spot price. But this is a massive pattern. Talk about looking left. If Bitcoin had, the spot price had this pattern looking left, I like it did in 18 and 20. There you go. There's the monthly chart. It probably would, I'd be even more aggressive, but GBTC at a minimum, you go to target 1. Would it do the 1, 2? Let's just take it one step at a time. Go to target 1 there. Yeah, I really feel like you can take stock in the fact that everything that happened from 2019 all the way up and then back down to give you a Gartley powerful retracement pattern, and you got a yellow dot down here. That was like right at $8, $7, incredible. Remarkably constructive. Probably more constructive than this first cycle in 17 and come back. You have a real complex pattern, an ABCD. That's the kind of thing you want. Now, if we're going to get a new cycle where this thing becomes something else or even more, again, talk to me about minimums. I did this last time of what are these extensions? It's a generally, you could say it's a 127 or a 141. It wasn't really a 1618 almost. But why not do that again? Why not go like that and go there? Just trying to help you folks see what the harmonic possible levels are going forward to help you define it. In the meantime, just wait. We will get a pullback. Okay? And on that pullback, you'll want to stack it up It's whatever that next pullback is. Coin, who said that? APV, what's going on? Here's coin, 83 weekly. Still doesn't change this range bound issue with Coinbase. And the breakout phase really for Coinbase is above 120. Okay, it's really a close, consecutive closes above 120, 125, and then it really becomes something bigger. And I don't think it for any of these changes other than it's a BTC story. It's all about Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets allocated capital to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. That's what you're looking for. Bitcoin adds hundreds of billions of dollars onto its market cap, and that fuels the rest of the sector. So I own Bitcoin. That doesn't change, and it's probably going to be even more important this cycle. All right, let's jump over quickly. I can tell my voice is starting to go. Qs. So what's going on? Is this market up? Is it down? Is it 336? Is it 345? What the heck's going on here? We had a strong move, really, since the yellow dot, but that does not escape the fact that we're still dealing with this mess. Okay, and I'm watching that. I talked about why I thought this was so important. It's even more pronounced in the SPY. I'll get to that in a second. But that low is a critical low, and again, Tuesday we said you can't violate that. You can't take out these lows and not expect some other larger follow through. So they came in and they saved it. Let's go quickly to the SPY because I think that is the market, harmonically at least, where we really want to follow how this progresses. This is, well, first of all, let me change this. It did draw a bigger bat, but really what it was about the crab pattern that did the full 1 and 2. And let me just remove that and we'll show you guys that. Because that's what we've been going with all summer long. This crab, and it did the 1 and the 2. Where did it go? We had it before. Let me see. I'll have to go back. Why is that? I think it was an inside. It was drawing it off of here. Regardless, we know that 411 was the level. And I talked about that a couple days ago, that had to hold. I tweeted out that we needed to close above 420 yesterday. We got it. There's the follow through. But I'm not totally there for the moon yet. In fact, I'm thinking this is just another reaction. So up today, up tomorrow, Apple comes out. Maybe we get some follow through. Talk to me next week. Talk to me next week. This reaction was scraping the edge, as we said, but this is still just reaction territory. Let me see. What was the diamonds. Let's look really quick. Dow diamonds. So Dow diamonds had this butterfly, and it's been probably, the tight range on the industrials for a long time that makes it seem inconsequential. But that was a 1-2 without a dot. No confirmation on this retest. And I'm going to watch this closely. It should go to target 2 in just a reaction. It's a T2 reversal, but I'm not going to really anticipate more than 344. I'll see whatever the next overbought signal is. You're clearly trending on that. We could trade above 339 into the 340s by next week, and then we'll really see what's going on here. Trend is up for the next couple of days for sure. So let's be mindful of that. At least you have patterns. I think it's pretty interesting. We had the monthly close, and remember, talked about the fact that 3 months down in a row. Okay, not a great look for the Dow. So yes, you get a little reaction here. You're popping up. We have to closely watch this. The long-term uptrend still intact. You know, it's interesting that the Dow hasn't cracked, even though there's a lot of Dow stocks that have cracked. You're still riding that kind of a trend line. So, you know, for now, so far so good. The major break, if you want to see something go gangbusters, it's above 35,000. It's above 358 on the ETF. I just don't think it's, you know, that's going to come later. If we did pop like this, sure, yeah, then you'd say, okay, you got a lot much further to go. But really, you go back 3-4 years, we are essentially where we first tested back June 21. So 3.5 years later, or excuse me, 2.5 years later, you're still where you are. Interesting. We talked about some of those. We talked about MicroStrategy. Neil's asking about BTBT, Bit Digital, and Riot Blockchain and Mara. I think that's probably just going to take time. There's your BTBT chart, a weekly. Big patterns. I think this, and it's a type 2, no doubt, but I just think, you know, you're okay here. Riot, same deal. It's just going to take time until that really, the Bitcoin progress spills over into these. And I think if you're looking for those stocks to do something, the one to follow is MicroStrategy. There's Riot. Oh, I know why. I took the patterns off. Check this out. Let me put the patterns back on. I turned the bat pattern off. Turned that off. There you go. And this was a weekly. So like Bitcoin, these miners like Riot Blockchain and Mara, they're going to take time. You know, that's a big structure. You did an initial first thrust off the lows at 5, got as high as 15, and now you're coming back. I think it's in a good spot. I don't have a problem with that. It just needs time. Same with that Clean Spark. That Clean Spark is another one. Big pattern looking left. And when I say looking left, what I mean is that, you know, nice basing support down here. But get me to target 1 eventually, someday. 1966, that's how you should look at it. Couple more. Square, sure. Square, just brutal. Brutal. Not constructive, really difficult. The problem with Square was you did have an initial completion off that shark, and it's still a shark. But you triggered, you rallied from, you know, this low at 60, and you went as high as 90, and then you ran into a couple of 1, 2, and 3 HSI on the weeklies. That tells you heavy, heavy resistance. Now, we're trying to trigger and get out of the zone on the bullish side. So if you like Square, maybe in a week or 2. These are the ones you should line up, though, for next year. And we'll see going into the end of the year how this is going to get served up. A couple more. What's up, James? James wants to look at Tesla, and it looks like that. Okay, a lot of chop. Despite the bounce, despite a lot of the, it seems like volatile action, you're just squeezed. And I mentioned this last time that with Tesla and a few others, that if you don't hold these areas, if Tesla finds itself back under 200 again, and especially under this 170, 177 area, there's only one possibility. You go back and retest the bat. There's a few of these. That's despite today and, maybe rally tomorrow into Monday. There's still a lot of work to be done on these long-term charts. So don't think that we're just jumping back into a bull phase. A couple more. Apple for tomorrow. Here's the interesting thing. The daily time frame had a shark. Had a shark. Come on, shark. Where was my shark? I think I turned, oh, it's still generating. There it is. So we had a shark. We've talked about this for a while. And it did the type 1. Type 2 retest. That happened back in early September. But where's confirmation? Nothing, nothing. Oh, there you go. Confirmation Tuesday. Check back Wednesday. Yellow dot today. And this is something that, at least in the short term, you could get a pressure to the upside to go back and retest target 2 and bearish resistance zone 187.37, 188 minimum, maybe into the 195 range. So, I would expect Apple to work out tomorrow. That's it. What's up, Lieutenant? Good to see you. How you been? Good days. Good to be back here. Couple more. You guys had a few others. Let me go into that. Yeah, this is just drifting up. So I took a shot this morning at the puts, but it's just not going to work. We're drifting up on the Qs and all of that. Oh, I'll show you the two that I posted yesterday. So we had two amazing patterns I posted, like 340, 345 yesterday, and they worked out quite well. Shopify, look at this. Doink, Gartley. And I posted that literally 15 more minutes before the close in my group yesterday, and just rocked. I think for now, you could get as high as 64, 65 on this retest, but that's a beautiful pattern. And the yellow dot was 2 days ago, by the way. So you had plenty there. And then Palantir. This was the other one. And I like Palantir, quite frankly. This is on a 4-hour chart. Check this out. Beautiful type 2 bat. Okay. I'm going to pull up the Discord and show you guys. Where did that go? Oh, sorry about that. Let's bring that over. I'll pull up the before and after in a second. I really do like Palantir longer term. I think that's going to be a stock that's going to do things. But longer term, 1430 should be the low. That's it. Oh, here's a couple charts from yesterday. Yeah. Here's the other one that I posted yesterday. Airbnb. So Airbnb 114, we should be looking at that. Here was the Palantir chart. Oh, come on. Where'd you go? Yesterday, 345. There it is. There's Palantir. 346 yesterday. Okay, right off the low, scraping it. That's a beautiful trade. That's the kind of pattern you want to spot and line up, especially with earnings. A lot of people ask me, how do you use patterns with earnings? Break it down on a daily or a 4-hour chart. You want something like this where you have the support defined by the type 2 with plenty of yeah, triggers there, 1450, 1460. I mean, that's trading 18. So really nice. And as I said before, Airbnb is another one. It's just continuing to, there you go, on the daily. 114.55. I still like that. Where are we on indicators? Not too much, but I like that structure. I like that 114 level on Airbnb. Couple more. What's up, Zeke? What's XPD, Zeke? Doesn't ring a bell. I have no idea. What is that? XPD, my man? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can clarify that for me. Scotty Solis, what's up, Scott? I like Scots. Scots are cool people. Align Technology. What do you do with that? Oh, you have this. You must have the software. You do have a shark, and it's a problem, but a potential opportunity. And let me speak to this for a second. We have a lot of zombie ass stocks like this that have been pummeled, that have collapsed, but did they capitulate? Something like this, beautiful structure. Just because you have a pattern doesn't mean it's an opportunity. You are generating HSI right now. So you're trying to get some confirmation here. Your indicator's still deep oversold. I would give that a little time. I'd want to see a few days down here at 185. Give me a yellow dot. That would be one signal that it's overcooked. But you go back here. Okay, it's a crab, but it's not even a type 2 crab. And the problem is that you take out the lows, pretty much what you just retested, it is full on zombie stock. And let me show you one or two zombie stocks. Here's Enphase, which blows my mind. Blows my mind. It was 320. No, was it? This was trading 70, I think, or 72 this morning. And you could call it a shark, whatever, but it didn't do anything. I mean, it's been just straight down. It's that one, or it's Solar Edge. Solar Edge is the one. There's just, that's troubling. Go to the monthly and just technically look at that. You guys tell me. I don't think that's done. And when we see these kind of parabolic runs, even though it took a few years, I got to get to an 886. Where's the 886 is like 53 bucks. So just because you are 3/4, 80% off the high doesn't mean it's on discount. There's a bunch of these, and they don't look good. So don't try to catch that knife. One moment. Let's give away a gold membership. Next person to type in GOLD, give you a 30-day access. That includes the software. And I'll give away one more gold membership too, and give away a book at the very end. What's going on, Nancy? Nancy's here. I recognize that name. Nancy, yeah, Unity is another one. Is it Unity Bank Corp that you wanted? Or is it or was it up? Maybe I was thinking Upstart. That's Unity Bancorp on a monthly, if that's what you wanted. Is what's the symbol on Unity, Nancy? Let me see. Maybe I don't have the right company. Unity Bancorp, right? I mean, that's not a zombie. I mean, maybe the banks are going to become zombies if they keep raising rates. There's a nice type 2 on the weekly, a bat pattern, maybe to $27. But yeah, maybe take a peek at those banks, because tell you what, Bank of America is one we looked at a while back where it's got massive patterns, but unable to get out of its way, almost broke the hop. This is where problems happen for Bank of America. Under 24.50, 24.75, Bank of America then has major issues like that. I'm not there quite yet on it, but the banks, they haven't done much all year. Couple more. Couple more. You guys had a few others. What's up, Cactus Leo? Want to look at Community Bank? Didn't we look at that as kind of like a while back? As not. Oh, it was, yeah, it was this type 2. Yeah, Leo, maybe. Maybe. It is a 2, but give me a dot. This is what I mean by being patient. That was a perfect type 2. But there's the first confirmation, and that will certainly trigger by Friday. These are one of these low floaters. There's probably better opportunities in the market than this. But let's say in 2 or 3 weeks we get a yellow dot. Then I'd say, okay, it's worth the speculation. Unless you have confirmation there, it's really tough to go with that. Argo wanted to look at water. I didn't want to bypass you. What is it? W8 WTER. The Alkaline Water Company. No thanks. I mean, yeah, you got patterns, but no thanks. I can't do the penny stocks. I do penny crypto, but I don't want to do penny stocks. I think I've learned my lesson. I got burned on one earlier this year, and I was like, that's it. I'm not screwing with those anymore. It was a chunk. Zeke wants to look at Palladium. How about we just look at XAU? Because we are going to get that opportunity on gold. And I think you have to let this come back in to retest what it needs to do on the daily. A lot of hype going on currently, of course. Not the time to be chased. Gold's never a market to chase. So 105 on the XAU. What about the spot price? Are we going to get back? That was just around 2,000. It's still hovering around 2,000. That looks a little toppy at the moment at a target 2 for me. And I would love to see that Gartley get retested at 1846. Yeah, we talked about this last time or last week. That would be the scenario for me. The launch pad is on the retest. Yeah. Yep. Couple more. What else do we have here? Yeah, XAU is a good one to look at. Any ideas on the Microsoft direction? Well, Microsoft's another one. I guess we didn't really even do the full tech yet. Microsoft, it is forever been sitting up at the 886. Here, you're all, it's like this. And it's weekly charts, folks, on a lot of these tech. And what happened to them? You had the crab pattern. That's why you had the pause, and then you had HSI come in that says this is only a reaction, and we're back in the zone. Yes, that can still go higher for sure. Back up into the zone, and it is. I mean, 347, that's impressive. And look at your indicators. Something to note with something like Microsoft, and I think with this retest, yeah, you could come up and clip the hop level at 374. I mean, in the next 6-8 weeks into the end of the year. This is why. Look at your relative strength. Okay, went to the 50 level, kissed it, and now coming back. Same with our amplified RSI. That's going back into the zone. You're going to be another 2 weeks or so. And then since the last HSI reading, clearly, I mean, HSI loves to go from extreme to extreme. So if we're riding this clear breakout of the 50 level, you just ride that. Let that momentum take you up into the overbought one more time. And that's probably 374. Couple more. We've been in here over an hour already. Can't believe it, but it's been fun. Before I go, let's give away one more book and gold membership. Next person to type in V3. I got you. V3. You got to type V3 and you'll get a 30-day gold membership and a volume 3 book. Folks, if you guys want to get the book right now, go become a basic member. And you can download all of the books right there as PDFs. Drip Tried. You already won. Please, nobody that won before. I'll have to talk to the mod. Miss Stephanie, let me know if he won. I know Zingla never won before. So Zingla, you win too. Drip Tried, we've got to check you out first. Okay, how about that? I told you guys I'd be generous today. But go over to harmonictrader.com. What you folks want to do, though, seriously, for this incoming crypto cycle, you got to get the TradingView program. Those guys, they have created such an amazing platform. And get with that. And what you want to do is you want to go through the charts and just get familiar. Wait for the setups. Wait for a 60-minute pullbacks at a minimum. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to catch these waves. So I just think it takes screen exposure time to get familiar with what you're looking at it so that you can put yourself in line with the pattern framework. Thanks, Daniel. Daniel, contact Miss Stephanie and she'll hook you up with a book. Okay? If you just buy the book, we'll contact Miss Stephanie on Discord and we'll help you out with that. Everybody else, on Thursdays we give away gold memberships, and every now and then I'm going to give away some volume 3s. Why volume 3? Because that's got everything, and then that has even the advanced stuff of HSI and management type understanding framework. It looks like that, so get on that. No, Mike, you did not win. You were probably one of the last ones, actually. On that last round, it was, I said Drip Tried. If he didn't win before, I have to check that. But Zingla, I know I haven't seen you, so we'll score you too. All right. Listen, folks, that's what I have for today. I'm going to go take care of myself. I'll be 100% by Tuesday. Until then, have a great weekend. Thanks again for showing up. We'll see you next week. As always, go get them. Have a great one.